Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Slamhub Wrestling. Myself Suprit, and this is the review for AEW Fyter Fest Night 2. So I'm joined by Abby Maniac, aka Abhishek Aneja. What's up, Abby?
I am fine, Suprit. How about you? How are
I'm
you?
doing, I'm doing good. So
So, how was today's show in your opinion overall?
Night 2 for me it was little down compared to Night 1, but it still was an important show.
Okay.
Yeah,
In my
yeah, go on.
opinion, I enjoyed night two a little better than night one. Maybe it was because of the you can say the first their positioning of the matches maybe was a little better, I guess, on night two. They started off with the fast paced tag action. Then they immediately had Archer Janela. Then they had Butcher and Blade, the six-man tag. So they had action in the first, the first hour, bang, 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 so as to keep the viewers. They did not have any filler matches, I guess, so
Uh,
as to let
I,
the viewers
I
go.
I can just say that Night 2 had I picked out a little critical points. Like I didn't like some little those small things I didn't like, which I'm gonna talk about.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's
So
get down to business.
so this show featured Kenny Omega, Hangman Page defended the AEW Tag Team titles against Private Party. Lance Archer versus Joey Janela. Taz, he made a big announcement. We got a eight-man tag between FTR and the Young Bucks versus Butcher Blade and the Lucha Bros. SCU went against Dark Order, and the main event featured Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho. But before that, if you are new to this channel, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for all notifications. We here in Slam Up Wrestling cover all pro wrestling related stuff, including reviews for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW Dynamite, and New Japan as well. We also have a flagship podcast called the Slam Up Wrestling Podcast, so make sure to check that out. So, before we get into the show, I wanted to get your quick thoughts on NXT beating AEW back to back in the ratings.
Uh-huh. Um because of that same reason that NXT beat AEW, I checked out for the first time in a long time NXT. I went out of my way and checked out NXT first night of the Great American Bash last week. So I skipped a few parts. I watched the whole show, and I enjoyed the parts which I saw. The main event I enjoyed. Io Shirai versus Sasha Banks I enjoyed. Uh, the character of Dexter Loomis saw for the first time, so that was a little intriguing. And I also saw another, I guess, one or two more things, but not the whole show. I didn't have that much patience regarding it. But yes, the fact is, maybe NXT is doing something right with regards to getting the viewers in. They are doing something right, and there was a little bit of with regards to the demographics, we are only talking about the ratings of United States, not the whole world. So the viewers of the age group of 50 years and plus, they tuned in more for the main event main event was Io Shirai versus Sasha Banks. So, and many viewers also tuned in for the who I guess shifted also from AEW to NXT to watch the match. We all know Sasha Banks is a great wrestler. Io Shirai, many people are uh, knowing of her caliber. So it was a marquee match. Many people wanted to see it, and the match also had uh, no commercial breaks. NXT did that show with regards to having little to no commercial breaks. So it went to their advantage. And also, with I also want to point out that they one of our Indian wrestlers, Saurav Gurjar, he quote unquote accidentally put out the spoiler of Mr. Lee winning the championship and confetti coming down of
Claps
night
go,
two.
claps go for Saurav Gujjar.
So I want to say that it would serve as an advantage because even if because a theory also came about that they have um, taped multiple outcomes, which is BS in my opinion. I said it to two or three of my friends that it is BS. Who will go out of their way and tape multiple outcomes for a match? It is bullshit. So, and the thing which Saurav Gurjar did, if it was premeditated or it was done accidentally, the fact is it gave buzz to the said match. Now, the people who even didn't know, they will also want to know that which outcome, if they are of the opinion that multiple outcomes were recorded, which outcome will happen, so they will tune in to see that. So that also will you know give a bump to their ratings. So in a way it will benefit NXT in some way. It will benefit NXT too. It was an accident or it was premeditated, we don't know. But the fact is, it would benefit NXT. And with regards to Keith Lee winning, it was in the
Fine.
story. It was in the story.
Okay.
Keith Lee not winning would not go with the story. You are building Keith Lee in the recent Stone Cold sessions. Mark Henry came. He also reiterated to the fact of big guy wrestling, and he also touched upon Keith Lee. So Keith Lee was quote unquote bound for glory. He was winning. There is no denying the fact. So it happened. It happened. The spoiler would give a bump in the ratings. It might uh, come up tomorrow or day after that the said match, the main event of NXT, would have had a bump in the ratings. We would see that. We would not be. I would not be surprised. What is your opinion regarding it?
Um, I'm so you are saying this after watching NXT for a long time. I'm just gonna put it into simple words that NXT needs to concentrate on their own product and not get over jealous by winning the ratings.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing I want to bring out that NXT is slowly turning into the main roster.
Uh, how? Uh, how? In what way?
Did you check out? Rhea Ripley versus Aliyah and Robert Stone.
No, no.
Oh, you should have checked that out, and then the story would be clear for you.
Okay. Oh, Rhea Ripley, I saw one comment online which was that Rhea Ripley has not recovered after the, you know, uh, the hellacious beat down of her character by Charlotte Flair. She hasn't recovered since. So maybe now people are not caring enough about Rhea Ripley. So I am not watching NXT, so my reason is a little different. But with regards to the people, I don't know.
But
Uh,
but that was NXT. So we are talking about AEW. So let's jump
hmm,
back to that. So, show kicks off with the AEW Tag Team Championship match, Omega and Page versus Private Party. Quen and Omega begin. Omega quickly grounds Quen, and we see Omega and Page taking control of the match. Quen denied a double tag team move, and made the tag to Cassidy. They hit the silly string on Omega. Page picks up Quen from the apron and powerbombs him to the crowd. Cassidy with a springboard dive on Page. Big exchange of moves by all four men, including Private Party with a double Spanish fly on Omega for a 2 count. A lot of near falls followed. So final parts of the match saw Page being set up for Jin and Juice, but Page caught Quen and powerbombed him while Cassidy got V-triggered. Page and Omega hit the last call on Cassidy. I think it was on. Page and Omega hit the last call on Cassidy to win and defend the AEW World Tag Team titles. A really good match with a predictable outcome. Even though I'm not a big fan of Private Party.
mhm. Yes, it was a predictable outcome. We predicted it last week on the review of night one. Private Party defeated Santana and Ortiz to get this opportunity. And the story with regards to this match, nobody talked about it, but the fact is that Private Party and Hangman Page had a little bit of a budding story or rivalry of sorts. If the people who watch Being the Elite would be aware of it, that Hangman Page has become an alcoholic recently, as we all know. So during his downward spiral, he bumped into Private Party backstage frequently. So he used to take their drinks, the drinks of Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, and just go off. So maybe he owed them money, and I guess we the $12, which was also the name of the short motion picture made by the team of Private Party and Isaac Rodriguez, whose snippets
I
aired
hated
weekly
that
on.
movie. I hated that bit.
You hated that bit. I also hated it in some bits, but yes, the with regards to the background music and the you can say the production was good, but the fact is that whatever the execution, I guess I was not a big fan. But yes, the snippets aired weekly on Being the Elite. So, Mark, in the match, uh, we saw Mark Quinn doing a picture perfect, beautiful shooting star press. Like always, we see him. Mark Quinn recently had a good showing at his recent outing against Cody for the TNT Championship. And in the end, as you said, Omega and Adam Pussy Pants Page intercepted the gin and juice and hit the last call on Isaiah Cassidy for the win. So in $12, Adam Pussy Pants Page got the victory from his, you can say, the thugs he had. And here also, Adam Pussy Pants Page got the victory by pinning Isaiah Cassidy. So it is a little bit of a full sweep for Hangman Adam Page. That was, you can say, bit of a story in this outcome, in this feud. Other than that, it was not seen on television at any level that there was a little bit, even a sliver of story in this match. With regards to the match was good. Predictable outcome, decent bout. That was it.
So from that, we get to Lance Archer versus Joey Janela. Archer made his entrance. He had Sunny Kiss on his shoulders like he kidnapped him or something. Uh, this went 11 minutes. Archer dominated the entirety of this match. Janela did get some offense here and there. Sunny Kiss had some involvement as well. Archer wins with a blackout on the table, which was set up by Janela, and that was it. Lance Archer begins his rebuilding process. But my problem with this match was they could have chopped 5 minutes from this match. I think their intention was not to make Janela look weak. I still think
Yes.
Janela would have been fine with a quick squash considering he's not playing a important role on TV on Dynamite every week. So, what's your take?
But maybe I guess they are trying to build. Now they will build Janela as he has recently, started his tag team with Sunny Kiss. So maybe they are thinking of building them in the future. So that's the reason why Janela and Sunny Kiss had so much of an offense on Lance Archer. So, first of all, Janela and Sunny Kiss, their vignette aired on Being the Elite and television. We also talked about it in the last review. Janela and Sunny Kiss have wrestled on AEW Dark as a tag team, and as you said, Archer brought Sunny Kiss in his entrance from backstage. Archer pummeled Janela in this match. That shoulder tackle, that avalanche shoulder tackle into the freaking ropes to Janela was absolutely beautiful. Was devastating, and we also saw some marks, some scars on the back of Joey Janela, the battle scars. And there was also a counter of a running DDT into a blackout, then a lariat by Janela. That was great. Janela looked good, and I am happy for him that he is a great talent and he didn't get squashed, as you said previously. And his new tag team endeavor wasn't over before it started. Two backfires happened. Jake the Snake Roberts' snake could have cost Archer the match as it gave Janela and Kiss time to execute two aerial maneuvers on him, the 450 splash by Sonny Kiss and the avalanche senton by Joey Janela. And Janela placing the table was also a backfire as it cost him dearly as the end Archer hit the blackout from the apron to the table and then pinned his carcass inside for the 1, 2, 3. So Archer getting the victory, we predicted it last week. It was predictable, but the fact is now Archer, the Murder Hawk, is to be built for the future. He is a main eventer. We have to see him in a legit feud in the future.
Who knows? We could get Moxley versus Archer after Brian Cage is done.
Yes, that would be great. We have seen only one bout of them in New Japan Pro Wrestling, so that would be great to see here in All Elite Wrestling. That would be great.
A Darby Allen video package aired where he mentioned Brian Cage being the reason why he's injured. So he says, what better way to prepare for his comeback than a good old coffin drop? So this guy did a three-story height coffin drop and landed on those cushion blocks.
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna say that get ready for a Brian Cage Darby Allen feud.
Yes, that would be good. That would be awesome.
Speaking about Brian Cage, he and Taz came out next for a big announcement. The human mic stand Tony Schiavone was in the ring for obvious reasons. So what was I saying? Yes, Taz mentioned there was supposed to be a AEW World Championship match this week, but that didn't happen as the champion could make the show. So that's why he was here. He had a bag in his hand and pulled out the FTW, which means the F the World Championship. So this was the infamous championship in ECW. Uh, Taz mentioned no promotion has rights to this title. Take that, Vince.
Hmm.
Um, he said this championship is the symbol for a bad SOB. He then crowns Cage as the new FTW champion and sends a small warning to Moxley. I don't know if the FTW championship will be a official championship in AEW or not, or this could be just a gimmick title, something similar to what Moose is doing over at Impact with the TNA
Yes,
World
yes,
Championship.
absolutely. Absolutely. Bang on.
What do you think?
I agree. I agree. We have to see how will they use it. How will they use it? Right now, it is not in the next week's match. It is not supposed to be defended. So we have to see how will it be used. But the thing is that it is um, bringing legitimacy to the fact that any match involving Brian Cage would be a championship match, so it serves as an attraction of sorts. The story behind the FTW Heavyweight Championship, if I can recall a little bit, it was that Taz was not being booked in the main event or being given an opportunity for the ECW Heavyweight Championship by Paul Heyman and Todd Gordon. So the fact because they had other wrestlers, they had Mike Awesome, they had Rob Van Dam, they had other wrestlers. Sabu, and they weren't maybe of the opinion that Taz is their guy or he can hold the belt at that time. So Taz went out of their way and he just christened a championship and he made a championship of his own. And that was the FTW Heavyweight Championship. He brought it and he was defending it in the promotion. So it gives a bit of a legitimacy only when it is being defended and it is being defended against legitimate contenders and you are having it against yes legitimate contenders obviously and it is being booked on the card at such a level that it is giving it the said you can say importance so it can serve as an attraction in the future but right now it is not an attraction right now it is a prop in the future let's see what happens with the FTW heavyweight championship.
Here's my idea. If they are going to make this title a official title in AEW, then this could be a start of say, imagine a hardcore division in AEW,
Yes, why not?
and
Why
and
not?
and if, and if that happens, it could help guys like Joey Janela, Marco Stunt, Jimmy Havoc if he still gets a job. Um, Luther, Luther, remember him?
Yes, I agree with you. That could be a good idea.
In simple words, I am saying they can use this idea and showcase the indie style of wrestling.
Hmm. Yes, yes. That could be that could be a great idea. And it can also be defended on dark. It can be defended on dark. It can be defended on dynamite. Then it could be great. Uh, it can be defended on dark till the time you have the second show on TV.
Basically, it can serve as a lower mid card championship
Hmm.
because you already have the TNT championship and that's being established in its own way. So that's my idea. If you want
WWE
to,
has two mid card championship. They have US championship, so they have intercontinental championship. Let's see. Maybe a mid card, lower mid card. Let's see. It all depends on the importance, basically the booking, the contenders they will put forth for the said championship. That would determine the level at which the championship would be defended. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, it would give TV time or whatever, the TV space, screen space to the people who are not getting it, basically.
next up, sorry. Next up, we had a eight-man tag team match: Lucha Bros, Butcher and Blade versus FTR and Young Bucks. The heel team entered in FTR's mini truck. This went about 15 minutes and it was worth it. Lot of stories being told. The Bucks and FTR managing to coincide. Lucha Bros doing their crazy shit. Blade and Butcher being the supporting cast. There were some crazy spots as well. Phoenix and Nick going rope for rope until Nick hit a big head scissors. Phoenix Canadian destroyed Nick on the big pile outside.
Yes.
FTR
Oh.
and FTR and the Bucks helping each other to hit their double team moves. It was looking like the babyface team were going to get the win until Lucha Bros hit a double team pile driver on Matt to get the win. Didn't expect this outcome, but I think it was done to add more fuel to the fire between FTR and the Bucks.
Yes. 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 I agree. The outcome was surprising, but I am happy with the outcome. As as you said, that it adds fuel to the fire of between FTR and the Young Bucks, and it also builds the tag team of Butcher and Blade and Lucha Pros. That they are something. You are getting a victory over two of the best tag team in the world, so you have something here. You can utilize it in the future. The first Butcher Blade and Lucha Brothers won their match also last night on AEW Dark. Maybe it was a prep match of sort. It also adds, I guess, to the records. So as the results are being aired, featured on Dynamite, the crazy spots, as you said, there was a Avalanche Hurricane Rana with Phoenix and Nick Jackson. That was insane. Phoenix walking the rope and kicking Nick Jackson and stopping the Meltzer driver. That was great. And FTR doing their awesome tag team wrestling, frequent tags in the initial part of the match was great to see. Afterwards, we saw sport wrestling, which has to happen when you have 8 men fighting it out, and that Canadian Destroyer by Phoenix of Pentagon's bag on Nick Jackson off the apron to the outside on the pile of wrestlers. Fuck that shit. That was insane. That was insane. And in the end, we saw the super kick on Dax by Matt Jackson. That was a miscommunication which led to an LP driver by Phoenix and Penta on Matt Jackson, which seals it for the Butcher, Blade, and Lucha brothers. Very happy with the outcome, as I said initially. Surprised. It adds to the future match with FTR and the Bucks, and it builds Butcher Blade and Lucha Bros, which is very essential. Butcher Blade FTR are, you can say, the ground and pound and brawling style, the old school style. The Lucha Bros and Young Bucks are the new school, the sport fest, the sport wrestling. So it gives them legitimacy, and it was a great match. I was entertained.
The Viking Raiders and the Street Profits can learn something from this.
uh, if they can take a little break from doing these interviews, the newscast interviews, and playing basketball, then maybe yes, absolutely.
Let's see, they can do it in season 2. Uh, Next up, so we see Big Swole. She was not being allowed to enter the building. She then realized that Brittany Basura Baker was behind this. She then shouted at the official that they could have called her or at least faxed her. She was mad that she had to draw 3.5 hours only for this. Next up, we
Yes.
had Nyla Rose. Anything you want to say about this segment?
Uh, it, only the thing is that whatever she said, that was, I guess, common sense. Basically, she didn't say anything in her, you can say, promo or interview, whatever you want to say, that which felt illogical, which is very much missing in the other wrestling companies' promos and interviews. Whatever she said, it felt common sense, it felt real, and it felt natural. That's all I want to say.
The only illogical thing about this was Big Swole somehow got into the building, which we'll get to before.
Afterwards,
Yes, yes.
yes.
Next up, we had Nyla Rose. She was facing Kenzie Page and Killian King. So this went 3 minutes. Rose takes Page, hits the Beast Bomb on King, and that's it. She cut a post-match promo saying she believes actions speak louder than words, and her actions spoke tonight. She then said she has seen all the great wrestlers in the back with managers. She referenced how guys like Cody and Brian Cage have become champions with a manager on their sides. She says she also wants a manager and says she has one in mind, but she won't reveal it at the moment. So the thing is, anyone could be the manager, but I mostly think it's gonna be a female manager. Do you have any guesses?
Mm, right now, uh, I, I don't. Maybe Awesome Kong, maybe, but that is just right now coming to my head. Uh, I don't know. I don't know.
Someone,
I,
someone said Vicky Guerrero.
Vicky Guerrero.
Uh,
Mm-hmm. That could be good. I don't know.
but but will it fit the persona of Nyla Rose? because Nyla Rose is not Edge or Dolph Ziggler, that type of character.
Mm-hmm. But we don't know that how will she act on AEW television. She had a character on WWE TV, being the screaming woman. We don't know how will she act on AEW TV. We have to see what who we are just speculating. So Awesome Kong, Vicky Guerrero, or someone else. We don't know. And I also saw one more thing in the match that they edited Nyla Rose doing the nip up. She maybe tried, or if she successfully did it or she didn't, I don't know. But they edited it. Yes, it was cleverly done in the midst of the match, but it was edited out. Maybe they didn't want to show her like that big wrestlers doing that shit which we talked about last week, or maybe it was an unsuccessful attempt and they edited it out. And we had Penelope Ford, we had Hikaru Shida, the champion, the women's champion at ringside, and that's it. Whatever you said, new manager for Nyla Rose. She is demanding, and maybe she knows that the new manager would get her the victory, and it is a strategy that a manager would get her the championship. And she is rank 1 right now
Hmm.
in the division. So let's see what transpires with her.
So if you guys watching have an idea who the manager could be, let us know in the comment section below. Next, they are giving a medical update on Colt Cabana. So he has some bruised ribs. Brody Lee enters. He assures Cabana that these types of accidents won't happen in the future again, and ordered Cabana to get ready. Cabana said, "You got it, Mr. Brody Lee," and that was made a big deal. So we get to SCU versus Dark Order. This went 12 minutes. So the main story of the match was Cabana was being forced to wrestle by Brody Lee. So finish saw Lee hit the discus lariat on Daniels. He made the tag to Cabana and Cabana made the pin. Commentators were bringing up the fact how Cabana has benefited after aligning himself with Dark Order. What do you think about this storyline, and what do you think about Dark Order in general? Because for me, they are still directionless. Even Brody Lee, being the Exalted one, didn't do a lot. Even though he's a good overall wrestler, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, they are a good tag team. The rest of them are doing nothing.
Hmm. Uh, I, I guess that the thing is maybe their characters are not uh, being expressed on television as much because of the reason of lack of TV time. That is also a big reason that they are not having as much of a TV presence as they should have, because vignettes, promos, matches, that impacts obviously a lot with regards to your character and such. So now mostly whatever we see of the Dark Order, we mostly see on Being the Elite, which is mostly a comedy relief, to be very honest.
Hmm.
And we we take them seriously or not? It depends on, you have to give them more TV time. You have to invest in their backstage segments or uh, and such, so as to get the people invested that what is up. They did that initially when Brody Lee arrived, little bit, but that was also in a way only to take jabs at WWE. But the fact is, right now you have to do it on a consistent basis, maybe not every week. So then uh, every second week, so as to let the people be invested in that character or in that group, that you have a presence, you have a identity. The commentators cannot do that job to a T. They cannot sell your character to a T, and not everybody is tuning in on your YouTube channel. Not everybody is on your every tweet or following your every character on Twitter or on any other social media platform. So the fact is, you have to get the people invested in your characters for the long haul. Uh, the opinion of yours is, I can accept that you are not invested in them at all. You are seeing them as anything less. They are nothing or anything. But the story they were trying to tell in that in the match was there. But the fact is, the other aspects, the environment. The, yes, their members were standing on the stage. It was a little bit of a hostile environment for the other team, but the fact is, you have to sell that via vignettes, via promos, via backstage segments, via other things. You have to do that. There are many characters. I can understand that. There is a limit of 2 hours. I can understand that, but you have to do that in some way. You have to do that in some way, because other than that, we will not get invested. And if we are not invested, then who gives a flying F about Dark Order? Only on being the elite is a comedy show that cannot be used for character development. Right now they have made it a comedy show, they have made it a fact, they have reduced it to a comedy show. They have made fun of the fact that there is bleeding the hard way or the other way. They have made it a fun. They have made it a fun thing. They are making fun of that. They are making fun of the business in some shape or form. So it cannot be used for character development. Yes, they can uh, get people to get themselves over in some way, but it cannot be used for character development. So sometimes I am questioning myself too that why am I watching? But then the answer comes that it is only for entertainment. Yes, they are in some shape of form making fun of the business, but it is what it is. This is a free country or a free world. They can do whatever the f they want. They have full right to do that. I am not a person or a, like Jim Cornette or any other person who will try to bang their heads in my mind that why are you killing the business? But what?
Outlaw Indie Mud Show.
Yes, exactly.
Um, Back to Dark Order. Plus, we don't even know how a live crowd will react to Brody Lee.
Yes. Right now we don't. No, we don't.
Maybe in the
Unless the
next,
book
maybe in the
book.
next 3 months.
Mm, yes, yes. We have to
Um,
wait and watch. In the said match, we saw that Colt Cabana was selling his right side, the waist injury. He was selling it to a T. He was selling it absolutely fine, absolutely awesome. He was screaming heavily even when he was being held for a waist lock. Colt uh, in the end got the pin after getting the tag from Stu Grayson via the orders of Brody Lee. Brody hit the discus lariat for Colt Cabana to get the victory. His first win in a while. Yes, it is his first victory in a while. You can say now he is back to his winning ways. He is seeing light now. Let's see what happens. But the fact is, you have to get people invested. That is the main thing for the long haul. And that only comes with promos, vignettes, which are impactful. Other than that, you cannot, you cannot get
so
them.
Britt Baker was in her Rolls Royce, aka the golf cart. Suddenly Big Swole came in and tried to attack her. Rebel tried to stop her. In all this chaos, Rebel accidentally hit Baker in the nose, and Baker oversold it like Shawn Michaels and started screaming. Um, I think July is not a good month for Dr. Baker.
Mhm. No, no. For some people, it was not a good year.
Yeah, but this is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, like you say.
Yes, yes. It is Dr. Britt Baker. And she got injured again on the nose via the suspension paper ball, whatever. Yes, you have to see. And you were complaining about the fact that Big Soul got in the arena.
Yes.
So, the thing is, it has been happening for ages. Stone Cold getting in the arena when he was being escorted out by Vince McMahon and his policemen. It has been happening for ages. So yes, it is illogical, but it happens because we are seeing live theater in some way. So it happens for the babyface Big Swole. So we can expect Big Swole versus Britt Baker in the near future.
Before All
And
Out.
before All Out or at All Out.
Before All Out, because I think Britt Baker has claimed that she will make a return at All Out. So I think we are getting a championship match at All Out. Britt Baker versus Shida, I think.
Oh, oh, okay, okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
that could happen. Just the idea.
Mm-hmm. Proceed.
Uh, shall we get to the main event?
Yes.
So the
We
main event, you go on.
before that there was a video which was posted by almost most of the roster of AEW, which had clips of the said main event, which had quotes of Cody Rhodes and Tony Khan that it was one of the best main events of television. It was enthralling. It was awesome. So
Mm,
basically, hyping the main event, and they were obviously telling that it has been taped. They do not think that people are like idiots, stupid
yes,
idiots.
yes.
So and they were hyping the match that it is one of the best main events on television. So last minute marketing was being done. That was it. So we have to see in the ratings that how much did it uh, impact their ratings, their numbers. We have to see.
I think Brian Alvarez has put the tweet already.
Seriously, he
No,
has.
I have to check after this recording.
Oh.
Plus, I didn't. Plus, I still have to watch NXT. I think I know the spoiler for the main event. So let's get to the let's get to this main event match.
Okay.
Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy. Looks like Bailey allowed Cassidy to use her theme song. It was little similar to her theme song.
Is it? I
Yes, it was similar. Those guitar riffs were similar to her theme. Very generic.
yes, it was generic. I agree with that. Uh, let's see. I was a little bit disappointed that he didn't come out to the best friends theme song. But, they have to give him something else
He also
to.
have a good. His indie theme song is great as well.
Okay, I have not heard it yet. I will hear it today. I will hear it.
So the best friends were coming out with Cassidy, but Cassidy signaled to the best friends to stay in the back. Jericho came out with Santana and Ortiz. Everybody was singing Judas, and this made me miss Sammy Guevara. Um, so Cassidy in control with his hands in the pocket offense. Cassidy then started beating Jericho around the ring to the outside. Back in, Cassidy went for a DDT. Jericho denied and locks in the walls. Cassidy makes the ropes. Ortiz uses the mad ball on Cassidy while the referee was distracted. Jericho dominated until Cassidy went for some surprise pins but was taken down again. At one point, Jericho had Cassidy in the abdominal stretch and was using the ropes for leverage. Aubrey Edwards was warning him once, warning him twice, warns him again, and on the fourth attempt, Aubrey kicked Jericho's hand. Cassidy then started making a comeback, hands in his pockets, and went for his signature shadow kicks, only to hit a super kick for a 2 count. Cassidy hit a lazy frog splash for another 2 count. Cassidy went for his Superman punch, but Jericho caught him. Went for the walls of Jericho again. Cassidy somehow countered it into a roll up for a 2 count. Ortiz then splashed some orange juice in the face of Cassidy. This led to best friends coming out and brawling with Santana and Ortiz. Jericho used the baseball bat and a code breaker but got a near fall. Penny saw Cassidy going for a Superman punch only to hit the Judas effect, and that was it. The match was fine, but the problem is Orange Cassidy is a character that needs the involvement of real fans. Just just compare this match with the one he had with Tag at Revolution, and you will get my point.
Mhm. You were saying the involvement of.
Real fans.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I agree. He needs that.
Uh, but the thing is, 30% is the in-ring offense, so in-ring work. Then rest of the 70% is the crowd, the energy of the crowd.
Yes,
That's
I
what
agree.
makes him special.
Yes. In this match, we were seeing two of the biggest stars of AEW, no brainer,
Yeah.
and we the attack. I want to just say that the attack with the mad ball was very intelligent, uh, as the attack to the back of Cassidy, as it was just after the Lion Tamer or the Wars of Jericho, which targets the back. So basically, when Aubrey Edwards was reprimanding Jericho for him breaking the submission, late or just utilizing the 5 count, Santana and Ortiz took their shot. Cassidy was still hurting in the back, so the referee didn't have any chance to get notice of their attack. Getting my point? So
Yes, yes.
that was very intelligent. So you are seeing that the other managers or the other wrestlers should take notice of that and they can use that in the future. And
Mm.
afterwards, Jericho was targeting the back. After the commercial, we saw him uh, using the abdominal stretch. He was still targeting the back. And yes, the chaos between best friends and Santana and Ortiz breaks out when this they splashed the juice on Orange Cassidy. So maybe a future match seems to be in the cards for best friends and Santana and Ortiz, proud and powerful. And in the end, Judas Effect counter to the Superman shot puts the lights out for Orange Cassidy. So my prediction for Mike Tyson didn't happen, but the fact is I'm still happy. It was a good, great match. I was happy. I was entertained. What would be happening with Mike Tyson? We have to see. Maybe they are stalling for the fact that when there are fans, they would be having Mike Tyson. Maybe that's their scheme of things. And now next week we have Fight for the Fall
Mhm.
with a solid
But
card.
but nonetheless, Cassidy won even in defeat, and that's how Spider Fest Night 2 went off here.
Yes.
As they were going off air, they did a quick preview for Fight for the Fallen. We will have the Elite versus Jurassic Express, Lucha Bros versus FTR. Cody will be having another one of his open challenges for the TNT title. And of course, the main event, the World Championship match between Brian Cage and John Moxley.
Yes. It would be a great show, and I guess NXT has also maybe announced something for next week. I don't know.
Yes, night 3 for Great American Bash. Out of Punjab.
Seriously, yaar.
I don't know. They could have a night three with
uh,
1 week period.
maybe. I saw someone doing an edit for WWE NXT Judgment Day. So I thought that maybe they are doing a special called Judgment Day for next week. I still don't know. I still don't know. It can happen. I don't know because I didn't go deep into social media today before watching the show. The only thing that I was pissed off about knowing things before watching the show was the FTW championship. I was so pissed off that I got to know it before watching. You couldn't even, fathom it. The fact, but the thing is that that is what happens. You have social media, you do not watch live, then it is a price you have to pay. So it is what it is. So what does NXT have for next week? Maybe they also have a solid card. Now AEW has their backs against the wall with regards to 2 weeks back to back ratings losses in the United States, of course. So now they have a solid card for next week. FTR Lucha Bros God, that would be an insane match. We have John Moxley and Cage. That was about to happen this week. Now it is happening next week. That is also anticipated. Now you were saying.
Yeah, to add to your point, um, I think I know who will be facing Cody for the TNT title. Somebody said it was going to be Sonny Kiss.
Yes, I also saw the. I also saw the tweet.
Is that official?
I guess yes. I saw the tweet.
We'll have to wait and see if that's real or not.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So before we leave, anything you want to plug in? Anything you want to say?
Yes. Guys, you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Abbymaniac, ABBYMANIAC, and I am working with Wrestle Square. It is a independent wrestling promotion in India. So you can subscribe to the YouTube channel of Wrestle Square Pro Wrestling.
You can find Slamhub Wrestling on Twitter at SlamhubW, Instagram at Slamhub Wrestling. Our podcast and reviews are mainly audio based, and if you don't want your YouTube app running for that, then you can catch Slamhub Wrestling on Anchor and Spotify as well. This was a review for the AEW Fighter Fest Night 2, and we'll see you guys next time.